going by, if a hand goes up as I'm walking, or if you need help, right? I'll gladly help you anytime. But I would like you to put a heading here. Um, Investments being transferred. Okay, like that way when you're flipping through your booklet, because it's a vast booklet, right? You're probably not going to have everything filled in, but if you could have most of it filled in and have some headings here, it's like, okay, this is where you transfer stuff over part way through your investments. Just trust me, in real life, I wish you could just say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and you're just going to go with it. But times will change, your life will change, circumstances might come your way, you might have to make some adjustments. And so I want you to be able to make those adjustments and kind of predict what you're going to have if you make those changes. Okay, so here we go. If you probably read this already. So what's happening here is two different accounts, right? So you've got your GIC. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. So I think what might add to the confusion is that it's talking that Lawrence has a goal that in 5 years, right? In 5 years he wants to buy a house. So some of you are like, okay, 5, right? So that's the time frame you have in your head. But then there's a GIC, and remember, a GIC is locked in. You cannot deposit any on top of it. You just like lock it in for a rate, and it will mature in 3 years. So the GIC itself is a 3-year term, and it earns 5% compounded quarterly. So let's just talk about the GIC here real quick. I'm just going to highlight that orange. I start with my compounding, which is 4. Since there are no payments, these are the same. So once you have your compounding, which is, you know what, I haven't seen many questions where they ask you for the compounding, really. They just give it to you, right? Most interest rates is like this compounding. Future value is what we want. The present is 5,000. You have to put a negative because you're giving it to the bank. It's a 5% interest rate, and this is years, right? So 3 years times whatever is in PY, whatever you decided to be PY, that's what you put in there. So it's 12. Okay, we're going to solve that in a bit. Then I go over to my savings. Okay, I do the same thing. Please show all the entries, not just partial. Oh, did I forget one? NIPVPMT. No, I'm good. Okay. So what's happening here? Monthly payments, right? So compounding is monthly, and it says we're making $200 per month deposit. So these happen to be the same, won't always be. Future value is what I'm interested in. I'm making $200 payments to the bank, so that's negative. I start with nothing. The interest rate is only 2.5, and N is number of years. So we're interested in how much money do we have in 3 years. So we still go 3 years times PY, which is 12, so that's 36. Okay, so this is 36 months. This is 12 quarters, basically, because it's quarterly. Okay, so let's figure out what we have there. I wish I could just use your answers. Some of these questions are brand new, so my keys are still developing as we go. I want you to have questions that you can actually use in real life. So 4, there we go. Future value. This is what I saw for most of you, so I'm just gonna say that's what it is. Future value for this one, 36, 2.5, nothing, negative 200. I'm gonna put a 0 in there for now. 12 and 12. Future value, 74, 68.81. So the combination of these two is what I have in my account, right? So I'm going to go 580,377 plus 746881. help me out here. This is 8, 15, 12, 7, 12, 6, 13. Is that correct? Hey, my mental math skills are still intact. There we go. Um, that's what you have in total after 3 years. Mr. Jackson, could I have done 5 times 12 here and then figured out? You could have, but that would have been how much you have in 5 years, which is a bit tricky. You could have done balance after 3 years, called that one, and added it to, yes, you could have. I wouldn't recommend that. It just gets too messy. So savings, right, is this part right here. So you've got two different, this is technically what we call a portfolio. You don't have all your money in just one account. Okay, so this is A. B, what's happening in B? It says he transfers all of his investments to the savings so that he will have access to it. Because remember, when you lock it in, you don't have access to it until it matures. If it continues to gain interest at 2.5 compounded monthly, how much would he have to deposit each month so that he will reach the $20,000 goal? Sorry, I'm not having the question in view there. I wish I would have changed this to bi-weekly just to like mess with you a little bit, right? Like how much you have to do bi-weekly now, so to change that. But it is what it is, right? So just be very careful when you read these. When there are multiple things happening, chances are you're going to need to do more than just one TVM solver entry. So what's happening here is we're going to do another TVM, and this, the present value is like this 13,000 that we have. We're putting it all into this account. So we're going to go minus 13,272.58. We're still doing 2.5%. Payment, we're still putting 200. No, sorry. I'm asking for it, right? What is my payment? So I'm putting a dot there. Future value, I want 20 grand at the end of this. Compounded monthly, and it does mention monthly payments, right? So it is 12. N would be what? 2 years are left. Remember, there was a 5-year goal. 3 years went by. 2 years left. So this is 24. I will highlight this. Okay? Why is that? Why is that 2 years? 5-year goal minus 3 years passed. So it's 2 years left. That's my reasoning here. 2 years left to get to that 20 grand goal. So within 3 years, you're kind of reevaluating, okay, am I going to reach this goal? And so we're going to figure out what that is. So you grab your calculator, go back to TVM, change things up. This is now negative 13,272.58. I'm going to put a 0 for payment for now. Future value at 120,000. At that point, it's coming to me. 12 and 12 stays. Let's figure out the payment. There it is. It makes sense that it's negative because, oh, it's exactly 0, 0. Because you would be giving this to the bank as the investment is still going. So payments will need to be $246 per month. Right? That's in order to achieve the goal. So you have to put in a bit more than the 200 that you were doing up until this point. So I know it's a lot to take in, a lot of moving pieces, but I'm hoping that you're trying to actually realize the power of TVM Solver. That's that for you. I'm gonna do. My hope is to do a look into the future. If you start now and you want to retire at 67, I'm going to talk to you about how much money are you even thinking of having at that point to retire comfortably. Oh, wait a minute. I want to retire 5 years earlier, Mr. Dirksen. I don't want to go 67. I want to go 62. I want freedom 62. Well, we're going to do some math to see like, well, how much more do you have to put away each month to make that happen, right? So I would like to do a little bit more of real life scenarios. Okay, I'm going to stop this here. We're going to go to loans now.